Hey, welcome to the Momentum and Pressure podcast, where it's just me, Ezra, talking about motivational thoughts that I have. Sometimes I'll get personal, sometimes I won't. But let's go ahead and jump into it. Alrighty. I've been having the thought recently, and the thought is this: it is never too late as long as you have a breath. Because as long as you have a breath, you can take another step. And if you can take another step, then you have the ability to change what's next. A lot of people count you out and don't understand what you have left. And that's probably because they put you on the left. Like Beyonce in the box to the left, to the left, to the left. You used to have love in your heart, but you experienced theft. No one believes. They say your passion is a side hustle. No matter how much money you spend when you hustle and bustle. You choose to encourage others, but they don't really see it in you. They encourage what they want you to be, but never encourage you being you. They encourage what they want you to be, but never encourage you being you. Onions have layers, ogres have layers. I'm happy to say that you also have layers. When you peel them back, you'll see parts of you, and then you'll act like you never thought you would act. It's crazy that people often get lazy. Not because they want to, but because they feel they should. They live in a world where they're taught they can do no good. So why would they ever try if they're taught they can't make a difference? Why would they ever try if they're taught everything should be instant? You see, because when you think things are instant and you don't see instant progress, you think, oh, it's not meant for me. When truth is, the most successful people start from seeds and then grow into trees. There's a long, grueling process that nobody sees. Artists sign to record deals, and that's the fertilizer. That's the bank of resources that helps them go higher. And then you have people who are born into great families. That's fertilizer too. You have someone from birth telling you you can do anything you want to do. And others of us are born inside of the gravel, surrounded by weeds, matted and mattle. I don't know. It's harder. It's way harder. And it's not an excuse for saying that you can't make it, but it does affect you. But once you realize it affects you, then it is completely up to you. That's the crazy thing. Once you realize that, wow, I have this mental deficit, I have this mental block that I've been living in all my life, I can change that. You have to change it. It is literally completely up to you at that point. First, you're in shock thinking, wow, I didn't know abuse affected me like this. First, you're in shock like, wow, I didn't know that someone calling me ugly my entire life caused me to become insecure about who I am as a person and not speak out and go after the relationships that I wanted. I didn't realize that someone saying I'm always going to be fat made me stay fat and not go to the gym. I didn't realize that someone saying that because I'm black and I act like that I'm not really black. So when it comes to my culture, I shouldn't go back. And my white friends don't understand. They try, but they always lack. Woke white friends are funny. The main thing of this podcast is just, I'm forcing myself to talk, make videos, and be the person who I am, regardless of how silly that I look. I think I look silly. I think I look silly. Why? Probably because I used to do this when I was a happier person and a more joyous person and someone who's more optimistic about life and a simp with relationships on the real. But I was still happy, and I still believed in kindness a lot, and just being a nice person and being overly compassionate. When I used to do this, I was a man who brought homeless people to church. Only really one. The other homeless man, I made him tacos. Me and my friends, we made a homeless man 100 tacos. Anyway, just thinking. Yeah, so, and I remember I had a couple of people say, yo, I went home and I wasn't going to work out, and I saw your video and it made me work out. And I was like, awesome. And then some random person was on my page and they said, hey, you should not be giving people advice because this stuff is really basic. And I thought to myself, cool. So I stopped doing it. I let a random person stop me from doing something that I love to do. That's stupid. And this is also an attempt to show just people that I'm still alive, and that I'm not necessarily the person that you used to know. Like, I cuss a lot. And I still love Jesus, but I'm not hiding my flaws anymore. I don't do that, and I'm not trying to be overly judgmental, and I don't care about your political stance, to be completely honest. I just believe that I still, still got some core beliefs now. Let's calm down. But I definitely do believe that there are certain, things that are secondary, they're not primary, and they have nothing to do with the actual salvation of your soul. So it's not really that important to argue with people about. So yeah, momentum and pressure. Why is it called momentum and pressure? Because in order to become better at anything, gain energy, you need momentum. And then when you add momentum, you can have momentum, but if you want to really make an impact, you have to add pressure, okay? For example, when you run the 100-meter dash, you pop out the blocks, right? And that initial boost is like motivation. And then what happens is your legs just have momentum and they're just going. But see, if you don't run the 100-meter dash and you've never ran past an 11, then what you don't know is that you are actually, there is a way to make yourself get faster past the 50-meter mark, and that is by pulling your body forward with your hamstrings. Yes, adding pressure, the pressure of you, getting your knees high, hitting the ground, and pulling yourself forward, and keeping that speed and keeping that momentum. Possibly even building if you're like really, really like deadly strong, That's how that is how I ran a 10 in high school, and then that's how I ran a 10 in college. Only 10-9 in high school, 10-9 in college, because my body kept falling apart. But I did it. So that's that, guys. momentum and pressure. It's up to you. So in your life, you can add momentum and pressure, and you can keep going even when you don't want to. Or you can just give up. But if you still have a breath, that means it's not time to give up yet. I'm not perfect. I have a lot of flaws. I'm not this dude who's trying to come on here and, listen, women are always right. Nah, first off, fuck that nonsense. They're not. Not at all. Not even your mom. Not even my mom. I used to think that, but I don't. Not anymore. But I'm also not, misogynistic and think men are always right. We are wrong as shit sometimes. A lot of times. Everybody's wrong and right at different times of the day, and that's fine. This is really like therapy for me. The Bible says, hope deferred makes a heart sick. And I believe that every time you hold in your gifts and you have a chance to express them, your soul is getting sick. Hope deferred makes a heart sick, and every time you hold in your gifts, you're making your soul sick. All right? Don't waste time chasing fantasies. And that's all I have to say. This is episode 1 of the Momentum and Pressure podcast. Thank you for listening. I hope you have a great day. Yes, I am recording inside of my car.